Hey everyone, Rick here, and folks, I just want to show off my medieval town. This is Knights and Merchants, kind of a Sim City in the Middle Ages, or like Roller Coaster Tycoon, but think of it as like medieval village tycoon. So there's a lot happening here. We have expanded quite a bit. If you look in the map in the upper left, we have all this red. Everything that's red is us, and we have expanded quite a bit. Now you're going to have to ignore the sound, the squealing, oinking sounds from the pigs, because yeah, I am definitely known for my swine. And I mean, you can just like see him here. Like, look at this big old boy twisting and turning down there. Holy smokes. But anyways, they're having a lot of fun. We have a lot of, oh, is he still fishing? No, he's
Your
not going to catch
Majesty.
anything though, probably, because we've run out of fish. We fished this area completely out. But anyway, so you start out with a storehouse that has space for goods, and you start out with some basic goods. You also start out with four of these
Yes?
serfs, and no, I think three serfs and four laborers. These laborers are the folks like this
Yes!
who build your buildings and stuff for you. And we've expanded quite a bit. We started up here with a couple farms and a vineyard. And of course, for construction materials, we have a woodcutter, a carpenter, a sawmill, and a stones mason here in the quarry. But then we moved this way. We built even more woodcutters, more farms, more mills, more bakeries. And then down here is just Agriculture Row. It's all these farms and vineyards. And yeah, we are again known for our swine. So we have a lot of swine farms, and there's one up here as well. This game is so it's pure nostalgia for me. I mean, this was a mid 90s computer game. I'm able to play it now thanks to Steam, but there's a lot going on here. So when you build a farm, you have a schoolhouse that'll train all the different people who work in these different buildings, and you don't have to tell them to do anything. So for example, this farmer, normally it would be like in his house here. This farmer is leaving the house. Now, what's he going to do? Is he going to harvest some crops? Yes. Because what else he could do is plant seeds so that it'll keep growing. Normally, when you have fields, they look basically like this up here, where there's nothing there. And then you can see row by row starts to get filled in as it grows and grows. And then he has some of that corn there. And he's already had three. He's about to get a fourth right now. There you go. But again, you don't have to tell them to do anything. So the serfs will all go. You can see them scurrying around like ants, which is why you want to have your road network set up efficiently. I should make wider roads, because these single lane roads, you can see people have to kind of go around each other, which isn't always the best. But anyway, so the woodcutter, he'll go and he'll chop wood, and he has all these trunks, which a serf will go take a trunk and deliver it to the sawmill, who will turn it into these planks, which are used to build buildings. When you come over here to the building thing, here's all the buildings you could possibly build. And if you click on one, and here you can see it's a grid-based system, so there's places you can't build, and even maybe, tree in the way there, or what have you. When you place it, it'll have a plot, and then you can put a road. And of course, we actually don't want to do this. But you connect the roads like that, essentially. You can see they have all these little plots here. And I'm just leading these laborers who, whenever you do something, one of them will say, ooh, there's work to be done. And he'll go do it. Like if you do a couple of them, then both of them will start going after it. I only have two right now because two of them died. If everybody has a condition bar, and that just means how hungry they are. And then we have these inns, like this serf here you can see as the fork and knife symbol. He's hungry. He goes to the inn and he eats bread and wine and whatever else may be there. But these laborers, if they are in mid, let's say we did just build one piece of road right there, and he's going to go build this. So he digs out the plans, and he is then going to sit there, and now he wants stone. So now he's going to sit there until a serf, one of these serfs, goes and gives him a piece of stone to put that together. Oh my gosh, is he doing that already? And look at that serf, he's going to be hungry soon, but oh my gosh, look how efficient that was. Holy smokes. And as you can see there, that's how the road gets built. But yeah, if someone's waiting for materials for a long time, maybe because we haven't gotten any, or the serfs are busy doing other things, then if he ends up starving to death before he gets his materials, he will die upon completion of the project. At least he completes the project, though. But building a building is really cool, too. Let's see if we can just build a little building, like right here. So this is a watchtower. It's one of the smaller buildings we can build, but you always want to build roads to its front door. That way building supplies can get there, people can get there, whatever the case may be. But here's what happens. So as you saw, we put the plot down for the building, then he goes and smooths out the land for it, and then now they're both going to simultaneously work to build the road to it. Once the 3 pieces of road here get built, serfs will start bringing building materials to actually build this building out, and then these 2 guys will go and actually put the building together. So see, he just got 1 piece of stone delivered. He's now going to work on this other one. And I don't need to tell him to do anything. I just, put where I want stuff to go. They know where to go do it, and the whole rest of the village just moves on and on. So these millers, so, like here's some farmers now planting seeds. We saw what a harvest looks like, and see here now, a serf went in there and took one of those corns. Now where's he going to take that? To one of these mills or to a storehouse? Because they can do either one. No, he took it right to the mill, which is fantastic, because that was a perfect show of efficiency, because not only did he deliver the corn there, but the corn is now being produced into flour, and that mill already had some flour. So now this serf also, upon delivery of the corn, now took the flour, and he could take the flour to a bakery, but as you can see, our bakeries are really full. Each sack of flour produces 2 loaves of bread. And then the serfs, as you can see now, here he goes. This guy right here is now going to deliver flour. And he's also going to take a loaf of bread upon delivery of that flour. Just like that. How's our building doing? Oh, look at that. We're already starting to build it. So they've already built the roads. I wanted to show what it looks like. There's a piece of stone that was delivered there. And here's a piece of wood that I bet's going to get delivered there as well. And they need a certain amount of materials in order to build it. So here's another piece of wood. And now, see, they're both excited to work because a new building material just got delivered. And another stone got delivered also. And now they're working on it. Is there anything else that this thing needs? Let's see, because when you click on the thing, it'll actually tell you over here how. So a watchtower needs 3 wood and 2 stone when you build it. And that's all been delivered now. So now this is being built. And as you can see, it's hammered together piece by piece. Of course, the more laborers you have working on this, the faster it gets built. You can see its condition moving up. And this just tells you the type of person who occupies that building. And so we might as well go get one. It's a recruit. And we're going to train him. Now, a recruit will either go to the castle, where you can turn them into soldiers, or a recruit will come down here and work in the watchtower. We already have a watchtower down here on our southern border. But now it's done. You can tell it's done when there's a flag on it. But now, so the laborers are done, and they just kind of stand there until they have more work to do. Here comes our recruit, and everyone has a different voice. So the recruit sounded like that. The serf.
Yes, I'm listening. Yes, I'm listening.
Let's see, what's another different one? I think we've. What about him?
I'm listening.
No, he sounds the same too. So, the recruit just went in there, and so now you can see now what these serfs are doing are delivering stones, because the Watchtower shoots out these stone balls. It's like almost like cannonballs at enemies. Because yes, there are definitely enemies in this game. Here's this blue team down here with some cavalry and spears and archers and a couple watchtowers down there. This is as far south as we've explored. You can see our huge red empire. You can almost imagine the blue area down here is all them. There was also at one time a green area as well. They had troops along here, but we've taken them out. We let their citizens live though, and now they're just standing around looking like idiots. But here is the greatness that is our empire. But like I was saying, it's so efficient how, okay, so the corn becomes flour at the mill, which becomes bread at the bakery. Vineyard produces wine barrels for food. The swine farms take in corn and deliver skins and pig meat. The pig meat, like right there, gets delivered to the butcher, who delivers 3 sausage ropes per pig. And then they'll take the sausage, and again, everything either gets stored in the storehouse or goes right to where it needs to go. So for example, here, this inn has bread, sausage, wine, or fish, but I think we're all fished out. We have 2 fishers at these bodies of water. See, he's fishing, but I don't think he's going to catch anything. Did he actually catch something or no? We'll see it pop up right here if he did. No, I don't see anything pop up there. I think those are all fished out. But anyway, and that's the same thing with wood. So the woodcutter will go chop the wood into these trunks. The serfs will take these trunks and go right here to the sawmill and deliver the trunk, and for every trunk that the sawmill now works on, they'll deliver 2 planks. The stone quarry will mine for stone, and when I first built this quarry, there was a huge amount of stone here and an even bigger amount of stone here. Resources, for the most part, are finite. Once we mine all this stone, there will be no more stone, which is why I expanded way down here and did another quarry, because we'll never run out of stone with that big of a thing. But the fish have run out. The trees do not run out, because as we saw earlier, the woodcutters go and plant them. I'm not sure if that was in this video or not, but the woodcutters will go out and chop down the trees, but so you can see little tree trunks here and there, but also these baby trees were trees that the woodcutters planted, because they will grow again. But also, of course, you're thinking, well, what about weapons and armor and all that stuff? So there's weapons workshops that'll tell you how many of each wood is needed for hand axes, lances, longbows. Here's the armor here's the tanner that takes those skins we saw earlier and delivers leather, which the armorer can use for the leather armor. Here's stables that need corn for horses. And you can adjust all the values of how many resources are given to each different thing. So like the mill needs 3. You can adjust these tracks up and down. So right now I'm definitely over enthused about swine farms, because the food actually does make a difference in terms of, like, when you click on someone, there's their condition. And when someone's really hungry, their condition is really low. If they just go in here and drink wine, if wine was the only thing available, they would drink 1 unit of wine and their condition would go up like that much. Just like not much at all. If they go there and they eat bread, it would go up much higher. If they go there and eat bread and drink wine, it'll go up even higher. And if they eat sausage, it, like, almost by itself will make them like completely satisfied right then and there. But sausage and bread, like that guy, you can also literally see what they eat. I don't know how well you can tell on this, but like this guy's eating bread right now, and once he's done with that bread, that's a butcher, by the way, because you can tell every person looks different. So this butcher, once he got done eating the bread, now he's eating the sausage. And when he leaves the inn, he is going to be so stuffed. But so each different unit of food, I guess you could call it healing a person. The more rare, the more hardy the food, the more it heals them. So I wanted to max out on those sausages, the best, most powerful food in the game. So that's why I've allocated more corn to the swine farm than anything. Not as much to the mill, though bread is still really important. However, there's, as you can see, there's just flour all over the place. The bakers are constantly having bread. I mean, even with just having 3 corn to a mill, we are so good on bread. Look at this. 57 loaves of bread, 80 sacks of flour. Oh my gosh. But no sausages and only 6 pigs there. So we're definitely still working on that. And then you can also see how we allocate to the stables, but also wood to the weapons workshop and whatnot. But yeah, there is coal because when you're training, all like your whole population is based on the schoolhouse. You just click on who you want to train, and it'll take 1 unit of gold. And gold is also finite. We start with a lot of gold because on this particular map, this is just kind of the easy, more peaceful map. There is no gold. There's no ability to mine for gold. On a tougher map, you'd actually have to mine for the gold and refine the gold. In fact, if we look over here, I just built some of these buildings way over here. It's a lot quieter on this side of the map also. This is an iron mine, and this is a coal mine. And there would also be a gold mine if there was gold. And we would have a metallurgist. I don't think we have one. Wait, what is this? No, that's the iron smithy. Wait. Yep. So a metallurgist would be, well, I guess that's the name of the guy who occupies the thing. But there would be another building that would turn the gold. See, here's a gold mine here. And as you can see, it can't be put anywhere except in a gold area. But there'd be someone who would actually turn the gold into actual something that was usable, one of these treasure chests. But everything works together in a cohesive, big old unit. And right now, we are doing really well on food, and we have produced a lot of weapons. At the castle is where you actually produce your military units. And iron is also not a thing in this map. So even though I was able to do an iron mine, and I could even do another one, I don't think anywhere along here, but I bet over here I could somewhere. As you can see, it's kind of picky. It needs to be 3 wide, and I'm just not seeing any 3 wide areas. Oh, there was one right there. So I could like do an iron mine right there. Of course, look how far up we are. We'd have to make the road go all the way down here. We'd have to keep doing something like this and do it all the way up there. And of course, my laborers are coming right now on the way to do this, and I don't want them to do that. But that's what we'd have to do to get an iron mine. These are iron mine mountains, but there's no iron in them. The veins of the mountain would be like blue if there was iron in here, which is why this iron mine is not producing anything, because there is no iron in them hills. And there's no coal here. The coal mines can be produced anywhere. But the ground itself would be like blackish if there was actually coal there. And there's no coal on this map either. But I just built some of these buildings just to have them, even though they're not doing anything. Though I will admit, kind of cheesily, let's see, what if we wanted to do a catapult? Can we build that with just that? I'm not entirely sure what materials this guy needs to build one of these. He has 1 iron bar and a lot of wood, because wood, of course, is plentiful here. But kind of cheesily, when you do build a coal mine or an iron mine, upon completion of that building, 1 unit of each actually pops up here. So if I build another iron mine, upon completion, there will be 1 iron ore there. And if I build another coal mine, there will be 1 unit of coal there, even though there's no coal here. So I did that with these two, and serfs took the coal, they took the iron, and they took it over here to the iron smithy, which needs iron ore and coal, and gave me 1 iron bar, which is why 1 iron bar was actually delivered to this vehicle workshop. You notice how, like at the weaponsmithy, it'll tell you in order to make these swords, pikes, or crossbows, they need 1 each of coal and iron bars. But in the weapons workshop, it doesn't tell me which of each. It would actually, how many of each it needs, but it did deliver an iron bar there. But anyway, so that is that. We are doing really well on our weapon. Oh, look at that. He's done. He built all the weapons. So that means we're at hundreds of each of these. So now we would just need recruits. And again, on this map, gold is limited. So this 297, that's as many soldiers as we'll ever be able to make for the rest of the game. But that's actually quite a bit in Knights and Merchants, because you'll have units of maybe 10 or 20 troops, and that's a big old unit. A unit of 20 is massive. But I just wanted to show off. This is an old classic computer game, one of my absolute favorites of all time. And it is so peaceful. That's what I love about it. It's like just like Roller Coaster Tycoon, but for medieval life. And you can just watch. You start out with just one single building and a couple people, and you build this whole metropolis that everybody is working together and all this stuff. So the kind of funny thing, though, I did also want to mention, we talked about these laborers we have who just stand around doing nothing if you're not building anything. Well, eventually there will come a time where you probably don't want to build anything anymore, maybe, and you just want to get rid of them, especially if you have a lot. Right now, I only have 2, and you can always check your stats over here. This will tell you how many of each building you have, as well as how many of each different person you have. So as you can see, a quarry takes stonesmasons, and woodcutters take woodcutters, and farms and vineyards both take farmers, and mills and bakeries both take bakers. Swine farms and stables take animal handlers. Butcher shops and tanneries take butchers. The iron smithy, and I believe this would be the gold thing, takes this metallurgist. And the iron weapons and armor take the iron blacksmith. And the sawmill, the weapons workshop, and the armory workshop takes craftsmen. And then all 3 of the different kinds of mines take miners, and the castle takes recruits. And then you can see we have 45 serfs, only 2 laborers. If you had a lot of laborers and you wanted to cut down on your workforce, you can never kill your own people. The only way to do that is come on down to one of the bad areas where one of your enemies are. And look at this. So we have 2 laborers. I'm just going to put 2 roads there. That's going to lure the laborers in. You're basically sending them to their death. There's one of them. Where's the other one? Where is the other laborer at? I don't even know. Is that him? Yep, there they are. They're both there. So they're both now on their way to go complete this task. However, once they get to about right here, these watchtowers are going to fire at them and kill them. And then I just click, remove. And of course, I'm removing those now anyway because I am not done building yet, so that's where they are. They're just kind of standing there now that their work has been taken away from them. But once they get hungry, they'll just go back up and eat at the inn, and they'll just stand around until I have some more work for them. But that's the problem, is they eat. They eat and they eat and they eat. So if they're eating all the food and not really doing anything, not contributing, that's when I send them to their death. But of course, you don't want to do that unless you're really done building, because again, that's gold. If you want to build more in the future, you're going to have to train more laborers, and that's another gold apiece. Otherwise, to train or to feed actual troops, like here's a unit of enemy archers, just a 4-person unit because I completely decimated them with the remnants of my starting army. Troops do not go to the inn to eat. Instead, you have to click on them and click an option that says feed, and then serfs will also go to the storehouse and get food and go bring it to them. One piece of food per person in this army, so that means yes. If I have a 20-man unit, I'm going to have 20 serfs go get food and go bring them food. And if I have 5 20-man units of archers and spears and swords, the serfs are going to have to go back and forth, and that's all they do. They prioritize that over everything else. So they're going to drop what they're doing. Well, they won't drop what they're doing, but they'll not do anything else until the entire army is fed. And if you don't click to feed them, they will stand here, and then one by one, as you see their condition bar go down, they will die, and they'll kind of almost explode in a agony of starvation. So if you don't feed your troops, they automatically die, but otherwise, all of your citizens go feed themselves in the inn. And so, yeah, our food production is fantastic. What next would I want to do? Because I have all this room. The world is my oyster. I can expand as much as I want. Probably more swine farms, honestly. I'll probably do a whole bunch more swine farms. And I may kind of weasel my way with this kind of glitchy thing, even though there's no coal and no iron on this map. Every one of these that I build is another coal and an iron. Now, of course, that's a super inefficient way to do anything, but when you are up against just basic cavalry and spears, and you have a unit of like crossbows or knights, I mean, look at all this. You have everything from just militia, which require just to have recruits and hand axes. These axe fighters are recruits and axes, but also leather armor and shields, and you can see their attack is good and their defense is good. Sword fighters need the iron weapons and armor, so we don't have any of them. The bowmen just need bows and leather armor. Crossbows, lance carriers, pikemen, scouts, knights. So a knight would be amazing. And we have a lot of horses. This one single stables has produced most of these horses. I think you start out with some horses. Not a lot, though. So we have produced probably nearly 50 horses out of this one stable. But of course, and that comes down to another thing. You kind of want to have your buildings built nearby to where they're going to have stuff. So, for instance, these swine farms are pretty close to this tannery where the skins get delivered. And then, of course, the leather from the skins then gets delivered to the weapons, the shield, or the armor workshop. And, of course, having the stables, weapon workshop, armor workshop all right here means the serfs don't have to travel very far. Like that serf just grabbed a shield when he delivered that. So he's going to go and he's going to deliver the shield there. So, and that's efficient when he delivers something and picks something up. Of course, if this guy wasn't done with something, if he didn't have all this stuff to deliver, and the serf could still come there and deliver goods, and just he wouldn't have anything to take home. Or maybe, he would go just to pick something up and not deliver anything. And you can set all these values like, okay, we'll maybe do, and I normally do like 100 of each, but I'll just do 20 of each. And if they don't have anything on their queue to do, they'll just stand there. And they had a full complement of wood, and they won't keep getting delivered wood once they reach their max. But there's a lot of options here. You can toggle this, which means if an enemy attacked us and started attacking this building, this is turn on or off the ability to repair that building. And this is toggle on or off delivery of the goods. Like maybe, no, we don't want to have any more goods of that type delivered. You know, we have serfs are having enough trouble keeping up with the work that they already have. So for now, let's turn off delivery. It's kind of like turns off that building for a while until maybe the serfs catch up or something. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything, I think. But yeah, things are going really nice over here in the town. It's just a very peaceful time, expanding and farming and gathering resources. And eventually, maybe I'll hire some more recruits and build an army. So here's what it would look like, let's say. Let's use our 3 recruits to create 3 archers, and here's what it looks like. And when they come out, they all come out in one unit, and you can make them form up into rows and columns, and we'll bring them over here. And you see, you have this wheel of where you right-click, that's where they move, but then this is the direction that they face in. So it's very rank and file. It's not like I can click on the map and drag and grab them all and then click somewhere else, you know. You could also split them up, so we could have each one of these as an individual unit, or you could link them together as one big old unit. You could have them in a single column or multiple ranks or straight across, and then once they ever do get settled, like for instance I just put them there, they're now going to be in this line, and of course they take their sweet time to get into the line. It's very slow. You cannot be, this is old school, folks. You can't be super, you know, hyped and think things are going to move really fast. Look at them. They're all like in different areas, but now when we do that there, they snap back into place. Or you can hit this halt button. But you could also make them wheel. So yeah, and then here's the feed button if you wanted them to be fed. That's how they march. But it's honestly, you know, kind of annoying, because if we wanted to do this isn't a great example, but until the banner bearer, once the banner bearer gets where you've told them to go, then the rest of the unit will stop. But, and this is very picky because, you know, especially in situations like this where these are watchtowers, if I had this unit go down here, in fact I might as well, because I don't want to feed these guys, so I'm just going to have them get killed anyway. But if the banner bearer was straggling way behind because as you can see, as these guys start moving through here, look at this. This is actually a good example. See how the banner bearer is way in the back and this other archer is way up front? Even when this archer gets to the spot that I told the unit to go to, he's going to keep moving until the banner bearer gets to that spot. Which means he is going to, let's say the banner bearer is way up here, and he's already made it to here, and I told them to get to here, but once he's here, he's going to keep moving until that banner bearer gets here, and if the banner bearer takes forever to get there, the other guy is still moving, and he's going to walk right into harm's way. So we'll see if that, look at that. So here's the banner bearer. Where's the rest of the unit at? Oh, there they are. So there's a couple guys there. There's a guy there. They all move like technically as a unit, but totally independently of each other, each one of them. And these guys, look at this guy. He's going to keep moving when he gets down there, because this banner bearer is going to show up way later than them. And I told this whole unit to stop right here.
Follow me!
But look at this. So I told them to stop right where my cursor is. And look at this. They are all moving that way because that is the direction that this guy's moving. So I will say the AI, when it comes to the soldiers, is so stupid. Look at this. Oh no, they're getting killed because they walked right in there. Even though I told the unit to stop here, because this guy was marching in that direction, the other two were also moving in that direction, and there's no way to stop that. You'd have to get them, stopped in a line somewhere earlier, and then have them move more cohesively. But let's
go! Naturally!
Attack this tower and see what happens. Oh god. Look at that. We actually started it on fire. Unfortunately, that's all we did because they're archers. Ugh. Look at that. So we've now seen more of the blue area. They have more troops over here. They have this network of watchtowers here, and they had these archers here that just took shots at us. We just took a shot at that watchtower, caused it to go on fire, but that won't do anything. The fire, will stay that way forever. The enemy never repairs their building, so this fire is going to burn forever. Unfortunately, the fire is just for looks. It doesn't actually perpetually burn the building down. But as you can see, you've got to be very careful with your troops. You can't just, grab them all and say, okay, go here, and the whole unit goes here and moves here and is there. You have to, keep an eye on them because as you just saw, two of those guys kept moving in this direction because the banner bearer was lagging behind. So to stop that, I would, get the banner bearer to about here and just tell him to stop. And then those other two that were over here would start moving back. And once the banner bearer stopped here, the other two would then come back and link back up with the unit. And then from there, I could move them down and, position them over here. The reason the banner bearer got kind of left behind was because, they were moving through all this. And, as you can see, the people move around each other, but they kind of hesitate if someone's in their way. So that's the same with the troops. As they were moving through here, some of them hesitated and stopped. But anyway, so that's an over a half-hour video of me showing Knights and Merchants. It's still one of my absolute favorite games just because of the economic aspect of, okay, so you want a troop. You know how many steps it takes to create a bowman? First, you have to train a recruit to come into the castle. And then you have to get leather armor and a bow. So how do you get leather armor? Well, you need a farm to produce corn. And the corn goes to the swine farm, which produces pigs and skins. And then the skin gets taken to the tannery to produce leather. The leather gets taken to the weapons workshop to produce the leather armor. And you need to produce a woodcutter to produce wood, who gets trunks to the sawmill to produce wood, and the wood goes to the weapons workshop to produce the bow. So now you have the recruit from the schoolhouse, which is this guy way in the back here. The recruit goes to the castle, the bow goes to the castle, the leather armor goes to the castle, and then finally you can go to the castle and create a bowman. And then you have to feed the bowman, so you better either have vineyards to produce wine, or the swine farm, which will produce the pig carcass to take to the butcher to produce sausages, or the farm to produce grain, to go to the mill to produce flour, to go to the baker to produce bread. And yeah, and of course if you're playing on a harder map, you would also need coal and gold ore. That's gold ore there, and coal is here. You would need a coal mine and a gold mine and what do you call it? A coin maker. I can't remember what it's called. A mint kind of thing, where they would take the coal and the gold ore to make the treasure chest, which we see here, and that would allow further gold to train additional recruits. So there's a lot of steps just to create one single soldier, and then they act really stupid on the field of battle. So it's definitely not easy to produce a force and field a force, but it's a lot of fun to build a big old medieval town. Alright, folks, that'll do it. Thank you all so much for watching. I do truly appreciate it, and until next time.